To America! Welcome to the Tong, where our loyalty lies only with warrior, and they will scrap only if I give them the order. And you feeling itchy, you got something to say? Just know we hop this way. Nobody else is suited for this other than us. I know it's crazy, but we work with it and don't give up. Welcome to the show. If you don't know the name, we call it Hop This Way.
Welcome back, all our itchy onions. We are glad to see you. We are live. It is the Hop This Way show. You're watching us live either on Facebook or on YouTube, or maybe you're checking out our podcast later on. Either way, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day and spending it with us. I'm your boy Zeus, and joining me as usual, we got the professor, Frank Jean, up on the top row here. Hey, Frank, best high five ever. Like we planned it. Now you got to pass that high five right on over to the yoga master herself, Warrior Max Geek herself, Miss Rebecca Nishi.
How are you?
Good. You got to send the high five over to Frank.
Hang, Rebecca.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't.
No, she's.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
We'll make it nice and easy for you, Becca. You just got to give a high five down to Steph. Just pass one down to Steph and the hip hop, Asian hip hop hippie herself, Stephanie Young Pratt. How you doing?
Oh, wait.
Oh, the hatchet.
Oh
She's
my
got the
gosh!
hatchet out.
What the fuck?
Huh?
Why?
How does anyone keep giving her weapons? She's at Martha's Vineyard with a weapon. I don't know what's happening now. This just seems so illegal.
And then, you know what?
Oh, yes, and off your other side. Oh, no, you got to. There it is, a high five being passed over to the man himself, Chew America, Money Matt Chua. How you doing, brother?
Hi. Hello. What's going
Hi,
on?
everybody. So welcome, everybody, to the show. We announced that there was going to be some big news. I accidentally spoiled it a couple days early, but for people who don't follow my other page, you didn't know about it. Matt, what's happening?
So next Tuesday, or I'm sorry. Let me try this again. Next Wednesday, we are having your boys, Father June and Hong, together, one show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Perry Young and Chen Tang are coming to the show together.
Wow.
What up, Sean?
What up,
You're
Sean?
having both of them at the
Two
same
guests
time.
For the price
It's
of
going
one.
to be unfucking believable. It's
So
gonna
good,
go
so good.
so
I have
off the
so
rails.
many questions. So many questions for both of them. I have to talk to them about Boogie. I don't know if you guys seen Boogie, but good movie. But you know what? I feel really, really awful about spoiling things a couple days early. So I thought that I would make things up to you guys the only way I knew how I could. And I reached out to a friend of mine and asked if maybe they'd come on the show. So everybody, can we give a warm welcome to the stunt coordinator for Warrior and also Halo, Mr. Brett freaking Chad.
Oh shit!
Hey.
Hold the fuck up.
Hey.
How do I not know that? I'm jealous.
Listen, I'm ready. Brett, I'm
Now,
ready.
let me just put
No,
this out
yeah, I
there.
saw the accent. I saw the accents coming out. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Hey.
What's going on?
Let's just say this. It is after midnight in Cape Town. So big thanks, Brett, for staying up late and joining in with us. This is absolutely huge. And then, of course, Perry. Oh, shit, Brett Chan, who let him in here? The shit talk has begun
Is
already.
Brett going to be in the comments and on the show at the same time?
I know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be
The
fantastic.
phone and the computer.
Now,
I'm a millennial.
we won't keep you too long at all because, like I said, it is after midnight already there for you, Brett. I do want to say big thanks. But first off, can you tell us, because it's your first, I've spoken with you before, but it's your first time being on our show. Can you tell the fans? I think it's the first time on here, right?
And
On this show, yeah.
Yeah, you've been on my show before, but you've never been on the Hop This Way show before.
Yeah. You never invited me on the show, so.
I tell you, it's an open door. You've always been open door.
Back the other week, and it was like,
listen, I'm still pissed you didn't invite me up to see you in Mississauga. I'm only an hour away. No, but seriously, can you just tell the fans at home a little bit what it's like or what it's been like working on Warrior and just the love and support that you see, not just throughout the fans, but through the actors and the stunt people working on the show?
I don't know. I've been in the business 26 years, and this show has been probably the pinnacle of, like, from the cast to the crew to the production team to the fans. It's been fantastic. I mean, the guys, I can't even tell you that the cast are all game. You know, I set up my gym, and you guys had seen my posts. I'm setting my gym up now, and it's like 10,000 square feet. I got like huge floors. I got like area. So the cast is laying out. One guy. I mean, this round it's going to be a little different because I have this team coming in, but they're all going to be the same other people. Like, they're going to be fantastic, and it's mandatory to be on my shows to have fun. Mandatory things and no asshole policy. So,
yes, fuck yeah.
I curse all the fucking time here. It's fine.
Yeah, right, there you go. The moment I get an asshole on there, then they go, because it just creates poison within the team itself.
Not here. It adds to things here, and that's part of our Canadian pride. Come on.
Yeah.
That's our true second language. So yeah, you talked about the crew and just that love there, and not kind of seeing anything like that before. How do you? This is where I always go. How do you go from Warrior then onto Halo, where it's tons of fireworks, explosions, a lot of wire work and stuff like that? Does the mentality have to change as much as the script does?
It's all about the storytelling and what it's for. I mean, obviously, you got Halo is all about Martians and laser guns and that kind of thing. You just got to get into the mindset. As long as you, whatever, man, get your beard out of here. As long as you're figuring out, like, you tell the story through what it's meant to be, I think it's okay. I mean, if you start telling, just because you start putting cool stuff just for the sake of putting cool stuff in, I think it becomes kind of boring. So, and that's how I detail everybody's in their fighting styles and how we create it and how we create the stories and why they do these certain things or whatever. It's not a big difference. Although I do miss swords and stuff. I haven't done swords in a while. But it's not a big difference. As long as you get your head in the game, you follow the story. You tell the story for a genre.
And that makes me wonder as well, because you've been doing this. You've been in this business for a long time. We've talked about your stints on The Last Samurai, and basically you've built up from a stunt man to a stunt coordinator to being the big boss. Is directing and show running in your future? Or is that something you look at?
Well, I'm directing an episode of Warrior this season.
What?
Definitely. Like, directing before wasn't something I really wanted to get into, or because it just kind of scared me more than anything. I'd rather get hit by a horse. But telling the story, when you're telling stories, you're doing choreo, you're doing previs and like that, and directors come in and they're like, I don't want to do that, and they kind of wreck it, because a lot of times directors don't know how to shoot action. And so when they see the previs, they get kind of freaked out, and they just kind of shoot what they want to. And cases like say Iron Fist, you tend to start getting into a mode where you want to be able to showcase what it is you're doing. So then directing is the only way to do it, really. So then I started doing second directing. But even at that point, you don't have control of the edits and all that stuff. Where Warrior, they allow me to pre-visit and help creative control of the script and help shoot the action and shoot all the drama within the action. Then I edit. So it's shot the way I want it. And it's okay through Jonathan Tropper and the directors, and then I edit it afterwards. My team, with John, and it comes out exactly the way it was presented to be.
Wow,
Which I think is cool.
I'm just still trying to get over the fact we just got a huge spoiler here. Like that Brett's directing an episode.
Yes.
Is it the bottle episode? That's what I want to know. And are we getting Michael Bisping back?
No. But I think a surprise who's going to be on the series this year. I think you already know. That's part of one of your surprises. I won't spoil it, but yeah.
I just
no,
watched
I
the
don't.
video.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Oh,
we know nothing.
I won't say anything.
Oh, I like it. I like it already. He slipped, but he didn't slip. I'll take it.
Yeah.
We almost had a Tom Holland
like,
moment.
oh shit! You got it. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
We almost got our way onto the show right there.
It's me.
I'm
the special guest.
Yeah. Should be.
What's that?
I watched a video of Mike Bisping telling crazy stories about Cape Town. I think he's scared to go back there.
No, he literally, they dropped him off the wrong side of town. Like Cape Town in our area is completely safe and it's really cool and all that stuff. But one wrong turn, one area, like you're driving down the street or off the highway and you go off the wrong turn, then yeah, you could be in a lot of trouble, especially if you're white.
Yeah, and Bisping is very white. I watched that video too, Rebecca. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, and he was completely like tourist looking at the map and phone, totally
on his
lost.
phone, walking around in the dark on the wrong side of town. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
He had a big sign on his back that said, "I am not from here. Rob me."
Yeah, I'm a tourist.
It doesn't matter if you're a Bisping or not. There's you got 30 guys coming at you. It's gonna be one of those things.
That's awesome.
But he's animated. He's cool. He's actually become a pretty good buddy of mine. So he's really awesome. And so I have a couple of movies that I'm directing. One is called Fox Hunt, and we have a few casts on it. Like Joe Taslim's on it already, and Michael Bisping's on it.
Whoa! What?
Cast, and that's to be shot. If it all works out, it'll be shot in Thailand. Yeah. And the next film, again, we signed Miles Brown. He's from Blackish, and Joe Taslim's on there. We're talking to a couple of big names. I just can't name them just yet because they haven't signed on. But I'm directing that one too, and that one comes out. We start shooting that one after we shoot Fox Hunt.
Matt's asking for an audition.
Get him on.
Brett, this is awesome. I mean, and I think my favorite part about this is something that you weren't chasing after.
Not at first, no. But once you start getting the business and you start seeing like your stuff destroyed. Like, I mean, like if you look at, let's say, The Matrix, that was John Asabio. He was the choreographer. And John the guy's a bundle of knowledge and creativity. But, he's on there and episode no doubt about his. But he's in the Wachowski sisters, and all of a sudden, nothing comes out exactly the way he wanted, and nothing was shot the way he wanted, nothing was edited like he wanted. So, it's frustrating because you put so much, work and effort in your craft and doing things, and the director has to be able to trust you, and as long as she trusts you, you're following their vision still, then it should still be going. But a lot of directors get all paranoid. Yeah, and they want to say, I shot this, and yes, you did, and that's why it looks like that kind of thing.
There's a reason why Finn jumped. Never mind.
But like you had directors like Lonnie Pastera, and the guy, he totally trusts his team. His team is like, I trust you. This is my vision. Let's follow it. And he trusts you to be creative, and he adds to it. And essentially, whether if I do it or he does it, it's still his mark because we're following his vision. And that's why he's so fantastic. And he did episode 4 and 5 in season 2. And he did I think 2 and 3 in season 1. Yeah.
Right
Milani
on.
is one of my most favorite directors to work with.
So season 5, that was
Police raid.
Mexico? Yeah.
Police raid on the Feng Hai.
I mean, you're planning season 5 already, Zeus?
No, that
Listen,
was episode 5, season 2.
I have season 4 planned, but it's all just based on the Violin Man. I told you that already. It's just one full season of Violin Man.
Well, you gotta also think too that their HBO has put all this money now into making season 3. Now, but we don't have the actual studios anymore because they were, everything was sold off at the end because we didn't think 3 was coming back.
Right.
And the studio were kind of fun and now the production's in there. So, but for a studio to come in and do a season 3, spend all this money for a season 3, but not have the intentions of looking at season 4, it's kind of crazy, right? Now that's without me saying anything, but that's just have to think about that. So.
I just don't. I can't see. Like, I understand Discovery's on board now as well, right? So
Discovery bought Time Warner.
Right.
Yeah.
So they own CW, they own Warner Brothers, they own HBO.
Right.
Max.
So that's going to change things a little bit, but I mean, Warrior just has money written all over it. Like, really does. Especially when you look at the love. I was just gonna say, like, when you look at the love that's out there for the show, and then the love that everybody on this cast has, and their dedication, then I started thinking it's all like family, and then I started thinking of Justin. I'm sorry, too soon. No, I'm sorry for springing this on my co-host there. Does anybody have a question though you want to ask before? Because we don't want to keep Brett too long either.
Since
I got
is
right now.
Okay, sweet.
Since Sean is dying to make a void here, I want to know who is the best video game player, Brad or Sean?
Ooh, who's the better gamer?
Sean who?
Sean.
Ha, 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 ha. Shots fired.
Well, I gotta say about Scott Jarvis.
Question for Brett. I watched most of Scott Adkins' interview podcast featuring action stars and choreographers. Are there any out there that have inspired you and your work? It's a good question.
Good question. I'm trying to think.
Who doesn't know Scott Adkins? That's the internet darling's number one choice to play Wolverine.
Oh, right.
But I think he's a real tall.
Wolverine
You
beginning
get
part.
guys like Jet Li, let's say.
Right.
Now, Jet Li, you can walk in, and I remember I was there in War, and the guys put the fight together for him. It was like 184 beats or whatever it was. And Jet Li will come in and look at it. Okay, let me see it again. Okay, I got it. He'll look at it twice, and he's got it already. Like,
Wow.
that was awesome. Like, and he just comes in and says, yeah, okay, once. Okay, 2. Okay, got it. And that kind of it's really unheard of. Even like the best of the guys, it still takes time to figure out where you want to put your acting beats, figure out the choreo, where this move happens, where that move happens, this one. It kind of moves and why this works, and you got to figure out why it's happening, why you're doing this move. Okay, and he figures it all out. He knows it. He's like, bam. Jet Li is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. There's a guy named Chen Chao who is a choreographer for Wu Ping. Now he does all the advanced and stuff like that. Chen Chao is the same way. He really thinks about the evolution of the fight, which is awesome. He was on Warrior season 1. He came out. He came out to work for me. He was on Marco Polo. He worked for me on Marco Polo, but he came out, and I remember episode 2 when Young Jun and Bolo went to go attack the guys that were that were bringing in some barrels of opium.
Right.
And, Bolo comes in, he slams one guy in the head with an axe.
Right.
That was Chen Chao. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a guy, Kenji Tanigaki. You guys ever heard of him?
No.
He was the second director and choreographer for a lot of Kenshin Rurouni.
Oh.
Now watching this guy move, unbelievable. Yeah, he's fantastic. And he's he's the biggest sweetheart too. He's like the biggest sweetheart. And he's very he cares about his performance, cares about people, cares about the shot. Like, yeah. And one of his main guys is this guy Koji, Koji Watanabe, and he's fantastic too. So if you watch it in the Kenshin Mamuni, like he keeps everything straight to the point of like choreo and no weapons. One thing I hate is watching people use weapons and they're using it wrong. Like it drives me nuts. Like if you're going to use a weapon, or if you send me a demo reel and you're using a weapon in the demo reel, use it correctly. Because once I see that incorrectly, I'll just turn it off.
Well, there's our right there. We all fear Steph. We all fear Steph.
Oh my God.
Martha's Vineyard will never ever be the same again.
She's in Sonoma with Lai.
Well, Matt, you're a martial artist, Matt?
I'm with Lai. I
What?
headed out into wine country with Lai.
Nice.
You're a martial artist, Matt? I know Frank is.
Well, we're both training. Well, he's level 6 Balintawak. I'm only level 2. So we actually just finished a trip to visit our Grandmaster Bobby Tabawada about like a couple days ago, and we got our asses handed to us. So that was a fun training session. What was that? 6 hours,
where was
right,
it?
Frank?
What's that?
Where was it?
Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where he's based out of. He trained my teacher who also trained me, and he trained Brian Sloyer over in LA also.
Oh yeah.
Brian went out there in I think 2012. He's got a really big group going out there now. He's awesome. It was great to watch him and his group do their Balintawak work. It was about 6 hours of practice, and I'm walking pretty chill today.
Yo, I'm still in pain. Like my whole right side is still in pain.
Yeah, that's normal. What happened?
Brian, if you watch a lot of his style compared to a lot of other choreographers, his is realistic. So he doesn't do drills for the sake of drills. It's point contact, realistic stuff, which I like.
Yeah.
Most of my choreography is based off of realism and things you would actually kind of do.
Yeah.
If I ever get to elaborate, it's only just for a little heightened moment for one little thing, but I don't like to make my fights like that, and that's why Warriors like that. I didn't want to make it all flashy and all that stuff.
That was You don't want to take a stick flick from Brian. The show sting. But yeah, like what I was noticing too, like Brett, from the work that you guys are doing, just thinking about what we all saw from the beginning. It's like because I was there you go. Because I was kind of weirdly spoiled, I guess, growing up, because I watched a lot of the Jackie Chan stunt team, a lot of the Jet Li, like you were talking about, right? So I was used to looking at it, and my first thought was always gonna be, oh, are they doing aerials, or are they doing butterfly twists and landing a split? If not, then like is automatically, I'm not gonna pay as much attention. But I think watching this over the course of the series, like each time my respect goes up for everything when it comes to the actors, the way someone like Koji was able to really just, you could tell how much his physicality changed between the seasons, right?
You can see him now.
Oh,
Really?
He looks like a superhero, like an action.
Oh my
hero.
God.
That's that bullet train money.
But also but also like what actually Johnny was saying about it last week too, how you're able to really infuse personality into their or let the character's personality lead their fighting approach, right? So I think like all those things that sort of like just kept pulling me in more and more to the action scenes, because of, I think also just like where you guys fit it into the story or how helped it drive the story. Like, so like what's your process for that? Because you guys have such a range of people as far as backgrounds and disciplines. Like how do you like manage all that into the story with someone, ranging from like the Joe Taslams to the Jennys all the way to a quote unquote regular cast member, like someone who might play Penny, like that's just such a big spectrum to deal with,
Very true. Very true.
But I think that spectrum helps create the story and helps you like want to be more involved in it. So the idea is like, I can create the guys. Oh, so basically I take, let's say the character, let's say Andrew. Okay. So Andrew is built on slim, right? The character is meant to kind of emulate what Bruce Lee's movements are kind of like, but not be Bruce Lee, because nobody wants to try and portray and be Bruce Lee unless you're trying to actually play him in the character. But you just can't, right? And Joe, he's a little, just tiny bit shorter, but he's stockier and he's a little muscular. So I didn't want to try and create movements or a martial art for each person that wasn't defining their character, because then they're having to move outside of their normal range. So I'll pick the characters. Okay, well let's see the move again. And now I know the move and how they want to operate. So then and Andrew's fast and he's long. He has a long reach. So I can let him do peppering. And that's how he overwhelms you. Pop, 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 pop. And then I create the style through there. So we add some JKD. Okay, what's good for this? Okay, well, we have some Wing Chun because that's the style. And we add some like low kicks and some high kicks, just give him a little pizzazz. Joe has a judo background. He's a national judo guy. So yeah, but he's stronger too. So we get him to use a lot of grabs and throws. But when he does grab you, you don't want him to grab you. So he breaks things. And that's why you see he'll grab something and he'll toss you around and break something, kind of thing. Wow. And he'll create that moment from grabbing you to a moment that he wants to do. I want to flip you. I want to jump over you. I want to jump on you, or whatever it is. And he's strong, so if he still hits you, it's still strong. But Bolo, he was meant to be Bolo. And Rich Ting, Rich Ting's like 6'1", and he's a beast of a man. Like he's
lanky too. Oh man, I hate sparring guys like that.
Yeah, I know. The worst part about him is he has great hair. And he has hair. Every time I see him,
yeah, he does.
Brett, you love our Grandmaster Bobby Tabuada because every time he sees someone with nice hair, he'll comment. He'll say, "Don't like your hair, man." Love you, Bobby.
Yeah. So then I create the styles that I gave him a lot of hungar and a lot of like hard movements, so that he doesn't actually grab, but when he hits you, it's a different feeling. And with Young Jun, he's not supposed to have a martial arts background. We made a quick little fast little fucker. So it gets nine.
Fast little fucker.
So everyone had a little bit different variation. Then I take them. Okay, so I'm going to do this now. So this is the choreo is going to happen, and it all depends on the moment of where they are in that story. So okay, so Andrew, you're at this moment. Okay, you don't want to kill him. You just want to fuck with these guys. Okay, so now we'll make his moves more lighter, and he's not going to maim guys. But when you take that moment when he's fighting the first two guys in the beginning, it's just like boom, he's playing with them. Right. Then you take him, you put him when he's fighting Bolo. It's now life and death. The movements completely change. It's still within the same style, but it's all in his mindset and how he's going to act it. Because I don't want to make him do something he's not gonna. It doesn't feel.
Yeah.
And same thing with Young Jun. Same thing with Young Jun. Every time he pulls his knives out, he's ready to dice people up. So it doesn't matter. Yeah. And Bolo, when he's going to town, he's going to town. But you see Joe. His character he starts being sympathetic. He doesn't want to just fucking maim and kill people. So he'll break arms. He'll do whatever it is, strike fear in them, but his movements will change. But the idea is if I can put them behind a blank screen and have them fight, just movement, then you'll be able to tell it's a different person every single time. And there's character involvement with every movement.
Yeah, I love how you put personality of the characters on their fight. Johnny was saying telling us this, that you try to put the personality like the way the person moves their body. It's related of how they are. But do you have time to read the scripts also, or you just talk to the actors about their characters?
Well, Jonathan Trump. No, I read all the scripts and I read them like 3 or 4 times. I do a read, then I do a breakdown, then I read it again. I get into characters. I get all sorts of different things happening. So before I can understand them, and then they're also buddies of mine. So I talk to them and we say, okay, good. And and we screw around too. We kind of mess around, do this. I see how they move, so I knew where they naturally want to go to and what they naturally want to do, and that helps me allow them. So it's like taking Andrew and Joe again. Let's say they had the same instructor. Let's say, well, Matt, are you much taller than Frank?
Yeah, so I'm 6 feet. Yeah.
Who's stouter? Like who's a little stockier?
I might take that one. Like my head is like if I stand beside Matt, our heads make like the number 10.
That's the hair, man. Okay, so like both you guys will learn the exact same move. Let's say you get the exact same trainer, teacher, and from day one you learn the exact same training, exact same moves, but because of the height or the length or the stoutness or whatever it is, how you execute each movement, it could be the exact same movement. It's punch number one. So Frank would throw punch number one and Matt would throw punch number one, but where you utilize your power is completely different because of your size.
Yeah.
And so I can take that moment with those guys because their size and their personality, it changes the movement completely how it looks. And then you add layers of like character, and then you add layers of where they are in that moment, in that scene. Then you add the choreography, and then you add environment. So that just can they can do the exact same movement, but it'll look completely different based on what's going on around them. And this allows me to give flavor.
Now,
That's why Warrior is the best show.
now is this something that like naturally like falls out of your head, like or is it like something where like you have to like sit and like based on whoever's playing that said character and whatever you get with the script, like is it more like you got to sit and be like, fuck, okay, you got to like detail it out and kind of like draw it out, or is it like a mix of both depending on who it is?
I like to think usually I'd read the script, and because I know the character, it already pops in my head what kind of the move they're going to do in the choreo. And then what changes then is then I'll talk to them, and they might have a different perspective of where they're at, which won't change the moves too much or the choreo too much, but it might change how they move. But the choreo should be the same. And then I have to sit down and look at the environment, okay? Because I can choreograph on my floors, there's nothing, no problem. Yeah. But then now I got furniture and I got walls and I got stairs. So now I got to change it up as I get inside there. So when we did the fight with Dustin and Joe upstairs, we just created the wreck.
So we're all laughing. Anyone who's listening to the podcast later, we're laughing because Sean Jarvis commented, Brett, not to make that head any bigger, but you are a wizard, my friend. Cheers.
Brett, as a fellow big-headed person, I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah. My head's not even that big, Sean.
This melon. This melon. You guys are all talking about that.
That was a nice compliment.
This is someone new listening to it, and I wanted to make sure we got the comment out there.
I saw that
from Kai Long.
Hey, what's up, Kai?
Hi.
Like what y'all are doing. Enter the Dragon was such an inspiring episode for me. I am mixed black and Chinese. All of this black hate and Asian hate and overall racism angers and terrifies me, and this episode uplifted me. Seeing the Hopway and Long Z team up against a common foe really gave me inspiration for not giving up in a world full of hate. Now, when you see stuff like that, Brett, and knowing that you have a part in telling this story, it's got to make you feel good.
It's awesome. I love it. I mean, but it's appreciation for the fans who are actually, watching and taking the time and loving it. And when I hear that, it's great. I mean, there's a bunch of shows in South Africa going, and one of the guys was telling me today that all these crews are always like, oh, I don't want to fucking that show again. I don't want to work on that show again. Oh, I'm never gonna do that again. But the one commonality with all the guys that said they all worked on Warrior is that that's the fucking show they love. And that for me is awesome.
Now, how much of that is just the perfect storm of, right time, right place with cast members, with crew, and showrunners, and how much of that is, Justin, Shannon, and JT coming up with the right plan?
It's all together. It all jumbles in together. And one guy that mentioned is a guy named Richard Sharkey. He's the producer, puts it all together. He puts the crew together. He puts the cast with John the Trapper, and he makes it all work. Richard Sharkey. This is the guy. I'll work with him anytime he calls me.
Nice, love it. Love to hear it. Now, Rebecca, you got a question there. Steph, do you have a question for Brett as well?
I'm just geeking because I'm glad you're here, Brett. I'm just to see your face.
I'm invited by Zeus.
Son of a bitch! No.
I want to know about the fun stuff.
To be truly, yeah, what did you say about
behind the scenes?
Oh, she wants the
behind
dirt.
The scenes. Dirt on who?
Who's the best joker? Who's the best singer? Who's the liar?
Joe's the best singer. Joe's the best singer.
Joe.
Joe.
Oh
And
yeah.
he plays the
Yeah, he
piano.
can
Yeah.
sing. Yeah,
I heard that
but
he's
he can
also a
sing.
bit of a prankster, or did I mistake that with someone else?
Sorry.
I heard that he also likes to play pranks, or am I thinking about someone else?
They all play pranks. They all do. Yeah, Joe does definitely. They all do. If you want to know, Dean's nickname is he likes to say it's electric, crazy electric. No, it's not. It's Bokchoy. When you have Dean on here, say Bokchoy. And if he gets angry, just say, okay, you can be electric Bokchoy. And
I'm not saying that to
yeah,
that man scares
So
me
he
even
named
through the
himself.
TV.
That's
Brett can sing
Yeah,
really
fun.
well. Don't let him lie. I've heard him.
What's the go-to karaoke song? What is it? Come on.
No,
What is it?
I don't know what he's talking about.
The lies I
Let's talk
smell
about
from here.
like he does.
I did it my way.
Well, we'll save that for your Tong not Tong trivia, Tong trials now.
Tong Trials.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to be able to do Tong trials today, Matt? Are you going to be able to get Brett branded into our Tong?
Only if he has time. Does he have time?
Yeah, a little time.
Yeah, sure. Let's hit it now if you want to do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it now. And then,
You want me to do this? All right, I got this.
come on, we got to make Brett a member of the Tong here.
Let me pull this shit up right quick. Give me 1 second. I was not expecting Tong Trials, but fuck it, let's go. All right,
I have
here we go.
two. I have another weapon.
Uh-oh.
I'd rather you don't.
What's
Seth.
with you and weapons?
Yeah,
Right?
she's the craziest one in the entire cast. Like, she fucking scares us.
I mean, she should probably be on Warrior, but just be like the crazy person that gets shot like 5 times before she even goes down.
No, she'll be the lady who manages to like the dumpling stand, and when anyone who walks by, she just cuts their ankles.
She whacks them.
Yeah, I love it.
Their Achilles.
I like that.
All
I
right.
All right, let's
right,
get
Matt.
this underway
All you.
in the most proper fashion. So, we here at the Hop This Way show have a thing called the Tong Trials, and what it is the Money Matt Shua, as this motherfucker wants to claim my nickname as. I will give you a series of questions, which there are no right or wrong answers. And when it is all said and done, and you go through all these questions, we will more or less deliberate to see where you stand, and it's probably going to be you're going to be in it anyway. And then we digitally brand you into our Tong on the show. So, Brett Chan, my question to you is: are you ready for the Tong Trials?
Ready.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. Superpower you want to have, and would you be a hero or villain with it?
Oh man. Tough one. Is it can it be a superhero or does it be just single power?
So it's any power you deem whatever you
Just
want,
one power.
and then just one, and then you choose as would you be a hero with it or a villain with it?
Yeah, you can't take a move set. You can't be like, I'm taking Superman's powers. You can fly, or you could be invulnerable.
Yeah.
Well, there is a power called absorption,
Ooh.
which allows me to sit and absorb all your powers, and I can have different powers every single time.
I like this.
I'd probably be a hero.
Okay,
That doesn't sound like a hero power.
that is a great hero power. You let him be. You let him be. It's his trial. God damn it, it's his trial. All right. Question number 2: app on your phone you're always on.
An app on my phone. Tinder? No, I'm kidding. Instagram?
Okay. All
Almost
right.
the
Let's
same.
go! We should have said it on national TV or live, but yeah, it was a kid.
He's
Only
always
fans.
swiping. He's always swiping. Which chore around the house do you hate doing the most?
Laundry.
Ooh, okay. Next question. If you could create the best slice of pizza, what would be on it?
Diavola.
Mmm.
Know
All
what Diavola
right.
is?
I don't
No.
think so.
What
Is
is
it?
that? What is that?
Frank's all perplexed. It's a spicy sausage.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
Good,
Yes,
man.
I fully agree with this. Okay,
Yeah.
next question. Who would you want to narrate your life?
Morgan Freeman.
Classic. Love it.
Yeah.
Character on a current film or TV series you would want to play?
Can it be an anime?
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, he's really thinking.
Yeah, that's a good one. Deku from My Hero Academia.
Oh.
Oh,
Wow. Deep pull.
that's so fucking good.
Deep pull.
Yo, make that live action right now, please. Okay, next.
No, don't.
Next-
Don't.
Oddly enough, Deku is just coming into his powers. He's just starting to come into when he has several as he starts to. That's like my superpower is absorbing. Never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I got you. I see the connection. I got you.
Okay,
Next, who would you want to play you in a possible film or series about your life?
Like as in like a personality, I guess, a movie star or something like that kind of thing.
Yeah, like so. Who would star as Brett Chan?
Brad Pitt.
All right.
Shut up, Zeus. What are you laughing at?
I love it. I thought you were going Tom Cruise.
Is he on fire?
Thought it was Tom
Okay,
Cruise.
okay. Joe Taslim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Ooh, I like that.
That was so good. It popped the cork off my bottle of tequila.
Yeah.
Oh, I need that. Next one. Favorite childhood memory.
One time when I was
A band cap.
no, I was 5 years old and I was moving. My parents were moving us to the Philippines for I don't know why, but we were moving there. And I felt I had a crush on this girl, and at my class. And so I was leaving the next day. So it was my last day of school, and I just looked for anything in the house I can just give her. And I found these flowers that were sitting on the mantle, anyways, but they were dying.
Aw.
So, but I came into school and I went to the teacher, and the teacher was like, "Oh, well, she thought they're for her, but no, they're for this girl Stacy." And so I gave Stacy, and Stacy cried, and she gave me a big kiss. And then we do our morning exercises, jumping jacks and just moving like that. And she was holding the flowers, and while we were doing the jumping jacks, the flowers started falling apart because they were dead, or essentially. But she was kind of crying, and then she gave me a hug again, and it was good.
Oh,
So
I like that one. That was touching. What's all right? So biggest pet peeve.
Lateness.
That seems to be a common thread here. Lateness. A person living or dead you'd like to hang out with for a day.
My mom. She's passed away in 2015.
Condolences.
Oh.
Yeah.
Name 3 positive things about yourself.
Positive things.
Yeah. Self-talk.
Like so hard.
Positive self-talk. This is the one that always gets everybody who's always going through the trials.
It's like I'm good at karaoke.
I am told that I have nice eyes because they're hazel green and I'm Asian.
Okay.
So
That's
one positive thing. I have good sized calves. That's why something a problem for a lot of people.
Oh, fuck you. 2.
I'm just told it's a problem for a lot of people.
Sean, can you name 3?
I'm mostly hairless.
I'm gonna leave that just the way it is.
You met Sean, he's got this beard, it's like this. Like, I mean, I just don't have a lot of hair all over my body, which I like. I don't have the hair on my back. John
That's
probably has a
positive.
fucking rug on his back, so
it is.
Yeah, we agree, right, Steph?
right?
Completely.
Right? Girls don't like rugs on guys' backs, right?
Nah.
Right, but they like a little bit of hair, right? Like somewhere. Like,
Frank and I don't have hair in the back. I don't know if Matt does, but Frank, you don't have hair in your back.
Nah.
Nope. I don't. And the only reason why I look like this is because I'm too lazy at the moment. So
No, on the back. Back is fine.
back.
oh no,
Hair
back
will
back
grow.
back is fucking clean, baby. It is
Yeah,
smooth as shit.
If I grow a mustache, it'll grow long, but it'll blow in the wind, so I don't bother.
Oh, I mean, you need that.
Grows the dirt dastardly, do you? A little bit of
need you
wax
to-
on the end of that bad boy.
I need you to do that kick just like that, please. Okay. And finally, the fun one of it all to close it all out. If you had a theme song every time you entered a room, what song would play?
Oh shit. You know, this song actually makes me happy every time. Oh shit! Oh, here we go.
Oh,
It's kind of a not really a cool song, but it makes me happy every time I listen to it.
is
It wakes
happy?
me up at least every morning.
It's Pharrell.
Yeah, it's happy.
Is it Pharrell?
Is it for
No, wait.
I love this
John.
fucking song. I love this song with Dua Lipa. Yes.
See, gets you on a dancing.
I love this song. This is an ill song.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel
Cold,
that
cold
we're
heart.
You just strut in everywhere you go. Brett walked in the room.
yeah, you just want to dance. It makes you happy. It's
That's
a fun song.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like
love
it.
Nice.
That's a fun fucking groove. Well, on
Absolutely.
that note, somehow, some way, we were able to get it all done. So, with that in mind, Brett, you have now been digitally branded and officially part of the Hop This Way Talk.
Yay!
Congratulations, sir! Hey!
Thank you. Finally, he's
One
the voice of
of
the
us.
show. You know, and I get
Yes.
One of
the Hot
us.
That's awesome. Now we'll let you get to sleep, Brett. Before you head off there, though, I do want to put two things out here because I mean, you talked a little bit earlier about Joe, and you know, this. I think this kind of exemplifies who Joe is.
Can I borrow these? There's the reveal, the weapon, and Youngjun's small knives, Tong, his chain. I don't use any weapons. This is my weapon.
Oh man.
I
Oh my
mean,
fucking
that
God.
dude is a weapon, and
So much.
he seems like the funniest guy in the room, though.
Like you when you walk in and like he's saying, you go, "Hey Joe," he's like, "Oh hey," you know that's how he's and all the time. So he's like that, yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it.
The whole crew's good. Like if you gotta see like Joe, yeah, the guy's a beast. You know, he's a beast. He's hilarious. And Dean, he's awesome too. And
Right.
Andrew, like I mean, Diane, Olivia, Kieran, Tom. I mean,
That's the
it works. They're all fantastic.
dream
you know,
team.
Rebecca's gonna meet them.
Yeah.
Dustin,
Rebecca's gonna meet them. What?
So
Yeah, get
So-
that.
Steph is coming
Oh,
too.
comment too.
yeah,
Maybe she wants to keep a secret.
What is happening now?
People.
Apparently,
How
the
is this
late-
not the whole hop this way?
Apparently,
Brett
the
told us-
women
told
of
our
our
secret.
show have decided to
Oh,
say,
sorry.
"Fuck us" and leave and go on set. That's
This
pretty
is
much
because
what
I
has
didn't
happened.
invite you on the show quick enough, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Listen,
You can blame Zeus. Me and Frank have nothing to do with this. We are but mutual parties here.
Yeah, you should
That's
have told me
bull
because
crap, okay?
Steph and I should be like
we were gonna be all secretive.
wearing
Stealth.
Olivia's weapon.
Deep down, I'm stealth.
Why are you doing that so smoothly? That's kind of.
Because me and Steph should
Oh my
not
god.
touch
Okay.
Brett with
Oh my
this
god. All right.
weapon.
Oh no, they're fucking one and the same now.
I know how that's working.
Shit. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Somehow that-
Olivia did this
I am
in
so
Marco
sorry,
Polo
Brett.
and Wario, and everywhere
sorry.
she goes now, she has to have this weapon.
What have we
Well,
done?
listen,
What have we
listen.
done?
One to my fellow castmates. Again, so sorry for spoiling everything. That next Wednesday, that we will have Father June on the show
And
with Hong. I mean, this is going to be a badass show. But to make up for it, I got the badass
himself.
badassery himself. Yeah, that's a real thing. That's
But
a real
weren't you
thing.
guys going to talk about episode 9 today?
We were going to, but then you got here.
You want to talk about it? You want to discuss with us?
I got a little bit of time. I got 10 minutes left, and if you guys want to talk about it, you guys can talk, and I'll just.
All right, let's get into the show for today.
Yay! Okay.
Well, hey, he's one of us now. He's so.
Yes,
I
of
mean,
course.
He's fully
Officially,
branded in. All right,
he's branded in, so he can be part of the discussion that we get into. So let's just fucking go and let's get the show on the road.
All right, let's we'll start us off then. Money Matt,
Yes.
what were you thinking with this episode starting off? I mean, we get our poor boy Kenneth, Jacob. I mean, just when we thought things were going to work out okay for him, they didn't. And here's just a little background on kind of what had happened.
Relax, Chow. It's over.
You know they're gonna hang him, right?
Mei Ling finds herself in the position where she's decided to out Jacob.
Yeah. So
Greater good? Is Mei Ling fighting for the greater good here? Did she do the right thing, I guess is what I'm asking the crew here.
Well, I mean, in her eyes, she thought she was, but in hindsight, it did the complete opposite of what she tried to prevent in the first place. So she thought by giving up, Jacob, she was going to prevent what eventually ended up happening anyway, which was an entire fucking riot onto Chinatown. So I guess in Devil's Advocate, you can kind of see like where she was going with it because she wanted to kind of spare everybody there. But well, we as you saw in the episode, the reality of what actually happened, it did the complete opposite, and it cost this man his life in the most brutalist fashion.
Well, we thought that was what was going to happen anyways, is that he would get strung up. But we didn't think the Irish were going to turn on the police, though, right?
Yeah.
Frank, is this something that you saw coming? I mean, we've seen this a million times now. We've watched this episode a million times. But can you remember back to your first time?
Yeah.
Did you see the Irish doing that, or did you think Jacob was going to make it back to a jailhouse?
I didn't know because I mean, even in the trailer before season 2 started, they showed the Irish storming Chinatown. So they let us know all know right away that there is this big culmination of just explosive violence, probably towards the end of the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to result in also Jacob getting hung before as I was watching the episode itself. I wasn't. I guess it wasn't a big twist when it came to Jacob being turned over to the police. But I wasn't sure. Like I wasn't sure if they were gonna just let him get away or what. Yeah, but that was. It seemed like the writers they've done. It's just really cool how they're able to tie in these little snippets of history into this cohesive story, right? Because it was there were lynchings of these Chinese workers during that time, and there was a riot on San Francisco Chinatown that lasted for 4 days during the 1870s, the late 1870s. And I thought it was also cool how, I mean, whether deliberate or not, the fact that Leary's actually not in the right, you know, and actually Kearney, the guy that I think Leary's based off of, Dennis Kearney, he was drawn into it because of the right. So I don't know the answer to your question, but I'll just kind of go. But yeah,
that's fine. You know, and we looked at it. And we saw Chow was put in a pretty bad place. Here, Steph, I want you to comment on this clip here.
Chow, I think, is very, very pragmatic, and Jacob is a stranger to him. I think that fundamentally the good favors of Mai Ling are far more important.
The pressure from Mai Ling to put an end to cops storming the streets of Chinatown makes it a pretty easy decision for Chow.
He doesn't look very dead to me, does he?
Triggered. Okay, go.
So yeah, well, we get that you get triggered from seeing that. Why is this scene so triggering for you? Is it the fact that Chow had to sell him out, Jacob out, or is it the fact that
we see it again and again? It's about survival, and you understand it, but what that does to him, you know, turning one of his own in is just painful. It's just painful. It doesn't matter how much she actually justifies it away. You know, it's still the same result. So, you know, I mean, this comes up in so many different places, whether it's, whether it's slave owners and who's selling the slaves to the slave owners, you name it. It's come across so many times, but he does such an amazing job. Like, it's painful to see him go through that. Like, you know, that sabotage, and yet, you know, he's still the hustler. So, you know, he's still protecting his back all the time, but there's that moral code you see in him where it's hitting him. It's hitting him. And those are the ones that are deep.
What about you, Brett? You're there making it and filming it. When you're seeing scenes like this played out, and this is the lead, like this is a lot of shit like this we've seen through there, and this is just a small snippet of what it was actually like, as we've seen in interviews with Olivia. When you're there as a creator, are you getting the same type of feeling as we are as a viewer, or is it more, or is it less because you're kind of pulled away?
No, you're in it. You're in it with them, and because the actors are so great, they pull you. That's what makes them so great. They pull you in with their acting, and you actually really believe what's going on. And plus, Jonathan, those guys did a lot of research on how it was treated back then, and it's very real to how they portray it. That's why
Frank always brings up some good history, so it's like history that I forgot. But I'm telling you, I know I'm the emotional chick, but there has to be something to, you know, ancestral trauma. There has to be, because when you see these things and it's like it hits you so hard, it hits you deep. And they've successfully bring this across screen, definitely.
Going back to my link.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
No, I was just going to say that Mai Ling actually is paying some favor to Buckley, so she doesn't believe what she was saying. She was just trying to comfort Chow because he was feeling bad, trying to say to him that he made the right thing, but she doesn't pity at all.
No. What were you gonna say, Brett?
She's cold. She's I don't know, there's a word for her I was gonna say for her. She was just downright evil. Like but she doesn't think she's evil because she's trying to survive. There's a hero and a villain in every story, but to the villain, they're the hero, you know, and the hero's the villain. So it's one of those things. She's definitely calculated and she's definitely evil, but not to her. By the way, just to change one of my answers, Matt, who would narrate my life? Hoon Lee.
Wow.
Yeah,
I like that.
He's dope too. That guy's physical. He's physical. He's so good, and he's awesome. And when he tells stories, like he's one of the writers this year.
Oh, right.
Well, and he's been with JT forever, right?
Yeah.
Like they go way back.
C and something like that. But yeah, he's phenomenal.
He got done dirty on C. I'm just saying.
I heard Andrew saying that he is one of the most intelligent people on the set that he loved to talk to whom?
Yeah, he'll talk to you about your character and give you perspectives on everything. When you think you have it figured out, he'll talk about what about this, and you tell him that you're like, oh shit, yeah. He definitely gives you a lot to think about. He actually talking to him a lot actually really drove me to want to more direct more.
Oh wow,
really?
Yeah.
Listen, it's from Massachusetts.
Was that Stephanie?
When I found out he was from Massachusetts, so proud of that Massachusetts Asian doing big things. So yeah, he's from Massachusetts.
Yeah,
love it.
Dope.
All right, so I'm gonna move on. Oh, sorry.
I gotta go to bed. See the bags on my eyes. Not sleeping.
No worries.
Anyways.
I see it a little bit. I guess. Okay, I see.
All right.
I'm much older than you, so.
I like that you said that. Thank you. I appreciate
This is a love proof. That
I would say it was much older than Matt, not older than you, Zeus.
Listen, Brett, you better not hope I come find you in Mississauga one time.
Yeah. You're gonna lie on me, I know.
That's it. I'm gonna lie on you, and I'm gonna use my two BJJ moves.
You call
You're fucked. You're fucked. I'm trying to right now.
Okay, you win.
Listen, I am down 25 pounds over the last fucking month and a half.
What?
Nice.
Yes.
I
went from 300 pounds. I'm down to 273. I think it was. So, yeah.
The art of fighting without fighting.
Man, so maybe it's not the Sean and Brett fight that we need.
Check out the farmer stand. I'm not really as black as I say I am.
It's a lie. It's a fucking lie.
That's like, yeah. Murder.
You're just black facing. You're like Trudeau.
Like Trudeau. I knew it. I knew the Trudeau hate was coming soon.
Yeah, Trudeau. What a piece of work. Anyways.
Yeah, it's awesome. You and I are the only two that get that at all, though.
No.
I read about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I read about that. Yeah.
Well, Frank would have.
There's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot.
So too funny though. All right. Well, we won't keep you. I know you got to get some sleep, Brett. But thanks, man, so much for doing this. And like I said,
I love the surprise.
Yeah,
you
like
always.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming on. Great talking with you.
Invite's always here, my friend. Thanks so much. We love you big time. Oh, what's this?
This is how Asians, this is how Koreans do heart.
There we go.
This is the same as this.
Okay.
Am I doing it?
Yes. A tiny heart.
Yeah.
The tiny end of a heart.
Love it.
Okay.
I suck so bad. I'm so awkward. It's just so awkward.
All right, see you guys later.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh my
One and only
gosh.
Brett Chan. Get some sleep.
out.
Brother. Lots of love.
Bye-bye. Oh, just for the record, Matt, if Sean and I scrapped, it'd be 2 hits. Me hitting him, hitting the ground. That's it.
There we have it on record,
You went back to
live and in person.
Just like that.
Even with his big beard.
Take that Jarvis out. Take him out.
Damn. I can't wait for the rebuttal in the comments.
He logged off. He had to go somewhere.
Yeah, he logged off to go to bed. He had enough.
Thanks a lot, Brett.
Thank you, Brett.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Talk soon, Brett.
We love you.
Later.
All right.
All right,
Thank you,
pause
Zeus.
really quick. What the fuck just transpired? Holy shit.
I felt bad. What can I say? I felt bad.
Oh
That was
my
really cool.
god.
I
That
pulled a
was
string or two.
crazy.
I pulled a string. I pulled the only string I have. It's the only one I have, guys. It's the only one I have. It was either get Brett on or get Richie back on.
Oh my god.
We do need another Rich. We do need Rich back on the show soon.
I'm just happy.
Yeah, we are so happy. Thank you so
Brett.
much.
All
I
right.
was so sleepy today.
I'll take that. I'll take that
tonight.
early Christmas. I'll take that early birthday gift. I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's what I do for you guys. That's what I do for you as your fellow Tong. All right, let's go through a couple of these videos here that I had set up here. Let's talk a little bit about this one real quick.
We've spent basically 18 episodes creating this tinderbox, and all we needed to do was strike the match, and Jacob killing the mayor is the match that struck.
Yep.
Thanks, Derek. Yeah, it's hard to keep going on after that, right?
I know, like, okay.
Yeah.
So glad I had coffee before the fucking show today, because now I can actually carry on. Holy hell.
Right? I mean,
So yes, that was a powder keg that all erupted today on, well, not today, but on this episode. And by God,
did it ever? And I like it. Was it you who made the point? What was it about Mai Ling?
Oh, for what? When you thought that she was actually doing
Yeah,
a
an
favor, but it
altruistic
truly
thing,
wasn't.
but yeah, it wasn't altruistic at all.
And she's the catalyst.
Yeah.
She has a point, but she doesn't feel that like that. She was trying to comfort Chow, but yeah, if he wasn't found, they would destroy the whole Chinatown.
Exactly.
Looking for him.
All right, I'm gonna burn through a few of these clips here, just because I got to go to bed because I got to be up in soon. So here's another one.
Jacob's lynching, the way that it was done was so realistic. It was pretty tough to watch.
I think the hanging had a profound effect on everyone in the cast. The stunt team was so phenomenal. The way they strung him up was incredibly real. It's such a horrible thing to see, and to know that these things have happened and can happen.
And Steph, you talked about this episode being so triggering. I got to imagine this is the moment you're talking about. What about the rest of you guys? Like, was this as triggering for you guys, seeing our boy Jacob get strung up there, and knowing that he did a heroic thing? He saved someone. He saved someone's life, and it cost him his.
I think it was just really hard to watch.
Actually, accidentally killed the mayor.
Well, I don't know if it was accidentally. Like, he hit him in the back of the head with a fucking poker. With the
I think
poking
he took the first thing he saw, but he didn't mean to kill him. And yes, it was very hard to watch this episode. I think I really cried the first couple of times that I watched it.
Yep.
I can see that. You're saying something similar, eh, Matt?
Yeah, it was. Oh man, just that whole once they opened the coffin, and then they drug him out, and it was just like this. Oh Jesus! It was just so bad. It was just so bad, and it was just like you knew it was gonna go that route, but you kind of wish like it wasn't going to, and somebody was gonna step in, or like somebody was gonna eventually like end it, and then the rope went over, and it's just like.
Yeah.
No. And then they had it all around his neck, and it's like, no. And they start fucking bringing him up, and it's like, oh my God, is this really what they're doing? And then it to the very end, I remember fucking me and my girl were just sitting on the couch, and I know for like right out the gate, I literally watched that whole fucking scene just like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck.
I'm with you. I kept thinking that someone was going to show up and do the old Lone Ranger or Clint Eastwood thing and shoot the rope and get him down somehow. And
yeah.
When he didn't, I was like, oh. I even thought at one point Leary was going to come out and save him. Like is that just me hoping for the best? I don't know.
Yeah.
I did not think we were going to lose Jacob there.
That was
it was very shocking.
Just to kind of like when you see him struggling you see the life going out of him. Right? There's one word that I have for this episode, and that's cathartic.
Yeah.
And because that was like the moment that capped the moment, right? Because it's one of those scenes where the whole series is building up. The whole series is building up to this episode, and that moment was what this episode was building up to.
True.
Well, and what happened afterwards, rather. It was like the moment before the moment.
Well, like JT said, it was the tinder box. They were building that tinder box, and this was that match.
Yep. And well, for me, even just watching it again, realizing what really kept dragging on the feeling was watching how they filmed Sophie, and as she's trying to fight through, and she does have a hand in him being hung.
Yeah.
Okay, that naivete of throwing his name out there, like you did actually have a part in this, of him being picked up and them knowing who it was. So watching her struggle through to try and make them stop, that was so painful. Like just that, and they did a fabulous job of it because it's dragging every single moment, and it was painful. You
know that JT will work that into her character moving forward, dealing with the guilt either in a positive or negative way. Either she's going to go pro-Asian or she's going to go the complete opposite way and go right in with Leary. I'm going to throw another one up here. Like all this led, so they hang him up there, and it's still not enough for the Irish. And they go off, and this happens.
It was a pretty massive undertaking. We were shooting things in real time. We didn't really go back and do a lot of resets because we destroyed our Chinatown sets.
Man, we couldn't get some of these people to stop rioting.
With so many stunts and elaborate master shots, we all just embraced the challenge.
The chaos.
I will say this episode, I think maybe this is probably one of the rare times that I've actually watched like television, right? And it really and it really invoked some type of like response and a feeling like right there. So like Jesus, that whole time from the hanging to when the fucking Irish were storming Chinatown and they were just fucking tearing everything apart. I was in such a fit of rage on my fucking couch. It was ridiculous because it was just like I know this is all entertainment. I know this shit is like fake going on right in front of me right now. I mean, granted, this shit happened, probably back in those times, but the fact that like I wanted to jump through that television and whoop the motherfuckers, it was Jesus Christ. So I'll save my Avengers moment. Like, yes, finally, when we get to that part of the episode. But yeah, I'll stop right there. Oh my fucking God. Hey. Can I tell you when that was the fucking Avengers, everybody coming through the fucking portal moment. Like, this was essentially the same exact thing, and like they're like, that infamous line where they're gonna die in our world. Oh, and then they take off their coats, they ready, the Hopway fucking ready, and all of a sudden the camera cuts and you see Taslim and the rest of the Long Z coming through. It's like, no, are they gonna fucking team up? And then all of a sudden they come through. Fucking Taslim taps his boy on the shoulder. Hong, of course, is like, hey, being Hong, as always. Yeah, that one light levity moment right there where it's just like, Jesus Christ, really, dude? And then he fucking nods his head, and they all just fucking stare on the other side of that street and just see the Irish and the way that they fucking just are like, all right, let's go. Oh, man. I literally, I was like, yes! Fuck them up! Fuck all of them. I was there. I was fucking there.
Check it.
To see the Long Z and the Hopway line up and Leon step up on the front line with us. Damn.
Yeah, mine was a lot more outlandish than just oof. Damn. Mine was like, yes, motherfucker.
We got there, like we've got some stuff from behind the scenes from that Olivia Chang had posted. Big thanks to Rebecca for sending this stuff to us.
The talent from the cast and crew to do all of that and choreograph that all to make it look clean as fuck goes without saying. That was beautiful.
That was awesome. And the last clip. So the fight ends. Obviously, before the fight ends, though, we see a meeting that none of us kind of expected.
One of the things we decided when we sat down in the writer's room was that we have to get Mai Ling and Atoy together.
Mai Ling? What's she doing here?
I really love that scene where Mai Ling steps up to save Atoy's life.
Do you mind if I take a look?
It gives their relationship an immediate dimension of complexity because that scene is about two women who find common ground in spite of their different stations in life.
We'll both do terrible things, all because neither one of us is ever going to go back to what we were.
Mai Ling showing compassion for Atoy, kind of cutting away all the labels of Tong leaders and madams and which side you're on. It's suddenly two Chinese women who've been thrust into this really hostile world, banding together to survive.
We may not like each other, but today we're Chinese and they're not, and that's all that matters.
I love that line so much.
Chinese and they're not, and that's all that matters. Like when I heard that in the trailer before this episode was airing, I was just kind of like,
And I love Olivia's comments.
What's that,
She
Bill?
always go very deep on the.
And also between the Longzi and the Hopway, just the wordless acknowledgement of what they had to do, because after Hong said, "Hey," my eyes kind of just slid over to Young Jun because he was in the same shot. You just see Young Jun just do this. That was it. He looked over, he saw Taslin was coming, he just went.
Yep.
He got some
Right back to business.
Business as usual, or maybe not as usual, but business is business.
Can we really quick go back to the fact that what was everybody's like initial reaction when you saw the lineup and then they charged? What was everybody's fucking reaction to that?
Yeah.
I love
Frank
Derek's
translated.
comment here, by the way, but sorry.
Hey, I'm here for that.
That climactic fight scene made me really wish Asian parents would make their little kids put their violins and iPads down and get their little butts into a dojo or a kwoon. I've never heard that.
I have a lot of frustrating stories about that I won't tell. I'll save for another time. But I agree with Derek.
Same. And sorry, Matt, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh no, that was it. That was just my question to our Tong here. What was everybody's initial like reaction from the lineup to the fucking charge?
The charge. Okay, so when they're marching down, right? So I like how they obscured the Irish on purpose at first. You see Young Jun, you see Young Jun and Assam. They give each other the nod. Right. So that was when they were walking down, you see each of them walking. But then you hear what a nice touch that I liked was they added the Chinese drums.
Oh my yes.
And you see it's just like the crescendo. They start jogging, they start running, they start clash. That was it. And that was just kind of like that. That was the feeling that I had.
And Matt, I think you said it earlier, about the Avengers. It had Avengers Endgame feel.
Yeah.
Like it had the on your left feel where all the portals are opening up everywhere and you're seeing these two Tongs just come together and just like you said, the woo, 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 and then they just charge it up. It so well done. This episode
Thrilling.
I think this is my all-time favorite episode so far. Definitely their most ambitious. Of course, I love both bottle episodes from season 1 and season 2, but I think this is it for me. I think this is the creme de la creme, the chef's kiss, if you will, of Warrior episodes.
9.8 in IMDb rate.
That's a pretty high rating.
Yeah,
that's a pretty high rating. What do you guys think? Do you agree with that? 9.8?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So much. This is 3 episodes in one.
You know what? That's a great way to put it, because, and it's so weird though, because they fit 3 different storylines in here, and it seems like, and you could tell like they weren't sure what was going to happen going into the following season. It seemed like they're trying to cover as much as they could, but they did it so well, and this episode flew by. Even though it does feel like 3 episodes in one, it didn't feel like it took the
didn't
time.
drag. It didn't drag.
Exactly.
And it didn't feel forced. It was very effortless. The way that you had those different storylines being threaded together within this one episode. When you have like the Mai Ling and the Atoy story going on right there, when you have the entire Irish versus the Tongs, that whole thing going on there, and then you had the stuff with I confused Jacob, because I confused the 2 names together of the actual actor.
Kenneth,
and then and then it's just like it's so beautifully written and choreographed with like the feeling and the stunts and the cameras and the actors, and it's just like it's really hard to get all that, and then to be able to like emit such emotion from like the scenes itself and this entire episode. And then I think I'm kind of speaking for everybody else, where like this episode truly did like generate some type of emotion from the viewers. And especially if like you're a quarter, you're a half, you're full Asian, or you're just not a fan of any type of discrimination whatsoever. It's the fact that like this really resonated with you, like this is fucking bullshit, and the amount of anger that it generated up until the fact where when they teamed up, and it was just like, yes, as Frank said, it was fucking cathartic, because man, when they fucking destroyed everybody and they went to town on the entire Irish, it's like, yes, like you couldn't help but be like almost part of it. You were on your couch and you were watching it, but it's like you were part of the fight. Like, yes, fuck them up.
That day even I felt Chinese watching that. And I don't mean that insulting at all. I just mean like I felt part of the team. I'm like, holy fuck, like let's go. Like I felt that rallying cry.
What makes me think about that song from oh my god, just forgot her name, Strange Fruit, this song about the hangings of the black people. What's the name of the singer? Forgot.
Fuck.
That's film about her recently, like 2 years before. So she made this song. It was forbidden for her to sing because it was she was telling about the hangings of the black people, and on that time you could be arrested for every reason, even for singing this song. And this episode makes me think so much about this. So you're saying that you felt Chinese, we feel the same pain of the black people in America,
and it's important.
And in Canada.
And Canada.
Yes. You saying that, sorry, I just dropped something, but that is exactly it, and as not to get all serious, but as the elder and as the one who's the Chinese elder, this exact portion and that pain, and why seeing the scene with Atoy and Mai Ling, as far as what the women had to go through, the historical portions of it, what the women went through, what the men went through, but as far as what the women had to endure and how we were treated differently, it led all the way right up, again, Chinese Exclusionary Act into Loving, the Loving Act being, happening and being passed, because all of those things lead up right into the 60s of whether or not my parents would have been able to marry. All of that, it's right there. It's recent history. It's not distant history. So it's very interconnected to now, in my
the 60s and 70s, some states couldn't allow biracial marriages. Yeah, I remember the name of the singer is Billie Holiday.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
Billie Holiday.
adding to all of this, and adding to this, the story between Lyri and Sophie, that it was a shock of reality to her, but not until he tells her, "You are tourists here.
Yeah.
Go back to your castle. What do you think is happening here?" She's still thinking that she's
See,
in a fairy tale.
good point. Another good point, because it really shows, and I mean, and again, definitely could be, a trigger point for someone who's black in the US, because the portion of, slave owner's daughter, the slave owner's wife, again, all of that dabbling, and when they slum and oh, they don't have actually a part to play in all of the the oppression. Yes, they do actually have a part that they played in the oppression. The naivete of what really happens to people in these situations it's right there. They portrayed, her seeing feeling the ramifications of, what she said and what she did. So it's an important part of history, and I think they did a great job of sort of, showing Sophie, showing, you're right, Zeus, laying it up for how she may feel guilty. Hi. And how she may have to grapple with all of that in the future. Very, very good point.
For sure. I think moving into season 3, we're going to see a lot of different stuff, but we also have one more episode for us to review. I don't know if that's going to be next week because, as we said,
I mean, it won't be next week.
It won't be next week. It's the 5th, right?
It's well, it'll be the 8th. The 8th is when it premieres. But our live episode for all of our people who are friends with us on Facebook, they'll get the sneak peek first. So
yeah, so the Facebook fans watch it first live on the 7th. And the rest of the world in YouTube on the 8th.
Yeah.
Come see Perry and Chen Tang.
Oh my god!
But yeah.
It's a good get.
The end of this episode was also pretty gut wrenching as well.
Yes.
Retrieved him.
Yep.
When they went and took the Kenneth down. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Sorry.
When they
were in the.
It's like we just won him.
Yeah. And it was cool that Bill was like, yeah, just let him have him. And I think the Irish were going to let him have him too, right? Because Lyri was there in that last one.
Lyri was there in that final one. But see, it was like the Irish weren't finished. They were ready to fucking go in and again. But like Bill kind of kept them kind of at bay. And when Lyri came out too, like everybody comes was like, all right. Yeah. They let him be and got Jacob. But even that moment they let breathe, and it was just like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like
it's a rough way to go out for a rough episode that was also, I mean, it's hard to say that this was a fun episode, but it was fun, like the fighting, the action and all that. It was fun to watch as a viewer, but knowing, the stakes that were there, of course, there was a lot more to it than that. And it was a visceral episode that we all felt watching it, I think is safe to say.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got one more episode to go, folks.
Ooh.
For season 2.
But we have a little bit left because we have the guests.
We've got guests. Now, just because we're done reviewing the show doesn't mean we won't be back, still bringing you the podcast and hopefully more guests each week, or maybe every other week now that we'll be done with reviewing season 1 and season 2. But yeah,
exclusive spoilers from our friends like Brett made us.
What do you think that was that he thought we knew? Like he was talking like we knew about somebody that's going to be in that episode that we don't know, like we should know about.
Oh my god!
He was close though.
Was it Io? You think it's Io?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is when he said that topping on the pizza, I forgot what it was called, and I thought it was something else, and then he was like, "No, it's spicy sausage," and I was like, "Yo, I need whatever the fuck that is now." Like I'm
hungry now.
Like I heard once he described to me what it was, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need that now on my motherfucking pizza."
I better boogie, guys, just because we have to head out of here.
Same. We got to do the same. Thank you so much, Steph. Hope you had a good one. I want to say thank you to everybody that turned in today as we see how do we do the love thing.
Oh, yes. And of course, really quick, we got to do the sign out. So, of course, one more time, remember that on our official YouTube page, please watch our episodes. We always have it up. All you have to do is search The Hop This Way Show. Please subscribe, enable notifications. Give us a nice follow so that way we can eventually say youtube.com/The Hop This Way Show. It'll be awesome. You can follow us on our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, at The Hop This Way Show. Give us a like, follow, whatever the case is. And of course, you all know exactly where the show is on YouTube. And if you can't watch the show, you can listen to the show and strictly just listen to it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Search The Hop This Way Show. There's no excuses. We're always there, some way, shape, or form.
I've already got the lean started.
Oh, yes. So until the next time, our fellow Tong, let's get some chicken!
Without a big heart to you all, we love you, and we'll see you all